Okay, continuation now from the last video. We just hiked up out of the creek where we found very, very fine gold, some sulfides, and oxidized rocks in the pan. And we're up outside of the creek on a very old logging road, and I think I see some nice outcrop up there. So let's go take a look. All right, so here's the first outcrop. You can see how oxidized it is. Hordes and hordes of pyrite mineralization amongst your rock. This is exposure 1. So all along here, all these rocks you can see on the bottom down there, these are all completely oxidized. Everything on this side of the road. So could span quite a ways up here. What we're going to do is we're going to walk down to a creek over here and see if we can't find anything in that creek. So taking a look at the creek here, not seeing anything that looks like we have any kind of magnetite sulfides or free mill gold in any of the rocks or in any of the gravels. Maybe a little bit of iron pyrite, and that's about it. Got a little bit of quartz veining in the rocks, but I think we're going to head back because we passed a quarry on the way here and it was insanely oxidized. So we're going to go pull some samples off that, see what that looks like. So the fact that your oxidization stops and you have a different change in host rock leads me to believe that your deposit runs down the mountain and is on the other side. We just came from right below that tree line over there. And this is what I mean about change in rock type and deposit. You can see all the rocks here. Basalt, you have porphyry in there as well. And then if you take a look over here, up on the logging road about here, it starts to change, and you can see how it's so oxidized up there. And this carries basically all the way to the other side of the mountain and around the backside, and that's where we think the deposit is coming up from, the headwaters up on this creek here. You can see it a bit way on that far mountain up there too. So the quarry's just around the corner here. Let's go take a look, pull a sampler too. Back at the quarry here. Creek's behind me over here. So let's go up and take a look. So look at the rocks here. If you saw the last video we made, if you look at the creek, similar to these, almost identical. We found a bit of fine gold up here, but farther down is where a lot of it is, going into the main creek which parallels the main logging road. So we're about 5 kilometers up now. So and this outcrop is just everywhere. Most of the rocks are brecciated. You have cemented, coarse-grained rocks and a fine-grained matrix. So if you take a look here in some of the less deteriorated rocks, you have super fine-grained pyrite, and you have some exposed here, all along in here, in various spots, and this could be very well where some of the gold is coming from. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull a couple samples from across here, one from the sulfide zone here, and another one just across this entire outcrop of mineralized gossanous rock. So here's a first sample here. Second sample will be there. So deteriorated. So far, all this oxidized area, we've found it to be exposed over at least 1 kilometer in different portions of this claim. So this could be a pretty big deposit if there's any free milling gold in there. Again, continues all along here and all over there. I was just going to get a sample, but about a ton of rocks just fell down, and that is really undermined and looks like it's going to fall. So I think we'll stay away from that for now. A lot of these rocks are pretty unstable. Again, little bits of pyrite. Okay, as much as we want to go farther up to the headwaters, we are about 4.5 kilometers away from our vehicle, and we only have about 4 hours of daylight left. So we're gonna hike down on the other side of the road over there, across the creek, and go down to the main creek. We'll do some panning and show you what kind of gold we can find. We've done a couple more pans here and we're finding gold, so we'll just show you one of them. This is just a totally random one we grabbed, so we'll see what's inside. But the last 3 pans we did had amazing fine gold. Look at all the oxidization from your irons. So we've definitely found part of the source, or at least we're close to the source. We think that there's multiple other deposits on this property, so we'll see. Okay, so let me clean it up a little bit. We have a little black sand in there, which is a good sign. Magnetite. Okay. Okay, so there's a decent amount in there. That's not too bad. Good 10 colors in there. Really coarse looking wire gold too. And you got black sands and a bit of sulfides in there. Back on the other side of the creek now. Quarry is over there. As you can see, it started to snow. I don't know what happened to 10 degrees Celsius today and sunny. Down along this creek bank here, I can see exposed portions of really oxidized soil. And over there, there is one exposure of outcrop that I can see. And you can see all those white oxidized rocks along in the creek. So that leads me to believe that your deposit also continues along down there. We have about 4 kilometers of hiking to do, so let's get to her before we get snowed in or snowed out. Walking on the logging road, we took a separate way down and we found a rock which has copper sulfides. You can see right there, all right there, and all up in there. Decently mineralized. Another one here. It's a little difficult to see because it's wet, but definitely have chalcopyrite in there. And we are back on the creek. How is the hike?
Oh, it's actually not too bad. About a 13-kilometer trip. Took about almost 12 hours, so.
Good times, eh? Well, that's...
Here and hopefully don't pass out in the creek here.
So that's pretty much it for the video, other than we're going to do a pan in this creek just to show you what kind of gold is coming down from the headwaters. Last sample here before we do that pan. We just found this on the creek. You have carbonate, iron pyrite with the oxidization and more oxidized iron pyrite right there. Some more little hunks there. Decent little river grab sample. Man, the water's cold. Just as cold down here. Man, this is freezing. It's colder down here. Maybe my hands have just had it for the day. I think I see chunks of pyrite in there too. Okay, look at this. a coarse chunk of pyrite. That's really weird. Okay, so this is what we got. There is gold in there. There we go. So we got a good 10 colors in there. We found some pans similar to this way up at the top. So we know the gold is consistent going all the way up. We hope to go farther up in the headwaters when weather permits. And we're definitely going to be staking more claims in this area based on what we saw today. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And it is nap time.